Welcome.
On.
Hi, ladies.
Hey.
Welcome to the set, Courtney.
Thanks for having me.
Yes, you guys look awesome. So what month is it, guys?
This is the animal phase.
Animal phase.
Animalistic.
Animal print, October.
I don't know what sounds zebra makes, so I can't.
Her.
That ain't it. That's not it.
I'm trying to make a horse sound. Trot. There you go. Zebra. So we have a special guest in the house, Courtney Evelyn.
Hey. What's going on?
And say your company's name, Courtney.
The name of my company is ALG Blueprint.
ALG Blueprint. And what do you guys do?
We specialize in consumer credit. Basically, you would know it as credit restoration or credit repair, and business strategy as well as taxes.
Okay. And credit. Like, how do you build credit? Why is credit important? Give me some
So the most basic thing that I would say about credit is that we all need it. No matter who you are, what you decide to do, don't let anyone fool you into believing that you don't. That's part of the reason why I got into it, because I didn't think I would ever need it. Wasn't buying a house, wasn't in a car. When was I ever going to do that? The reality is that you never know when you're going to need it. You never know when you're going to want to do it. And like everything else, it's better to have it and not need it than need it and not have it.
Yeah.
So the big credit is like one of those big things.
There was an episode, the new episode with Caesar from Black Ink. He's with this new girlfriend, and they were buying a house or something.
Okay.
So she was like, "Yeah, I got the credit," but his face was like, "All right, why you gonna tell everybody?" It was like, "Right, I only do money," but he was like, "Yeah, you need credit," because he was like, "Cash is not everything." So yeah, I was like, okay. I had an experience with credit college.
Okay.
And this is what I always try to tell teenagers getting ready to go to college, because credit to me is like the American way of life.
Right,
And you have to pay attention to how, you have to have a little bit of money, but good credit gets you a lot. So if you manage it well, you can do bigger things. And that's how a lot of these big dogs do, and, building their business credit and, whatever. But when you're going to college, that's when you get that first chance to get credit, because I know.
That's how
They
they get you. They get at 18.
Right on the
18th birthday, that's your first piece of important meal.
Oh no, I'm gonna tell you a funny story. Like, I grew up in Harlem, so a lot of us don't have financially educated parents that understand what credit is also.
Money, period.
Money, period.
Right.
So
credit.
Never mind. Right.
Yeah. Money.
God bless the dead. I love you, mommy. However, it's a funny story.
However.
So we up on NYU, and they was storing the credit cards like, you want this one? You want this one? I was like, oh shit. So let's start again. I grew up in Harlem.
We gonna take everything.
So I grew up in Harlem. So how credit cards mean ching. So we was like, but at that moment, she wasn't financially educated, and I didn't know either, because I wouldn't have let the chick fuck with my shit if I would have known what we were really doing at the moment. So that's when if you understood, I was sitting in the dorm. I went to NYU, so I was sitting in the laundromat, and it had a whole list of what you do with your credit and why your credit is important and yada 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 yada. And it was just like, damn, I wish I would have known that from the beginning.
Like, that's a main point for why I do what I do. And, ALG Blueprint is a new company, but we're expanding into education. And I want to specifically target those 11 and 12 graders. Right before they get you.
Right.
Yeah.
Good.
But I want to take it a step further because it's important that their parents are encouraging them. So I want to teach the parents too.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a lot. And how you can tell I'm from Harlem, my mom, she used my credit. So when I turned 18, they were looking for me already. I wasn't ready for it. But, that's the reality of how important it is, because everything you do with your credit, you got to look at it, it's going to affect me for 7 years.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
That's like, people don't even think that far out. But that's what it does. So that's the reality of it. And that's part of the reason why I do what I do, and why ALG Blueprint is so firm about educating people about their consumer rights when it comes down to what can actually happen when it comes down to your credit.
Okay. Oh, and we'll even give a shout out to Cookie. She couldn't make it tonight because she was studying. Even though we were fashionably late, as always, she could have made it, but it's okay. So
she's doing very important,
Look,
right?
Girl, I got you.
Right.
Very important.
Education
But
and healthcare.
We
We need that. Shout out to Cookie for that.
Yes, our Miss Masters girl. So, Miss Siri, this is Miss Siri.
Okay.
Welcome, Court and Miss Siri.
Welcome, Court. Welcome, ladies. How are you guys today?
We're
Good.
great.
Thank you for having me.
Yes.
It's a pleasure. I got a plate.
So we were talking about credit, and okay. So what else can we pull out? This whole thing with credit, with like the pandemic. Go ahead.
Is it safe to say no credit is equal to bad credit?
You know what? I like to think that no credit is worse, because you can't. The most important ingredient is, first is payment history, and then the second one is gonna be the age of your credit.
Mm.
You can be 50 with an 18-year-old credit profile, and it looks
No
really
credit.
bad.
Right. Okay. Got you. Okay.
It looks really bad because now they don't know if they can trust you. So bad credit, they kind of know, okay, we know what to expect with this person. They've done this with this credit card. They max out their card. They know what to expect from you. But with someone who has like an 18-year-old credit, it's a little bit tricky. I have clients who are in their 50s and never had a credit card. And they think, I don't need it. I won't need it. But when you go to the dealership, they want to know that you've had a $20,000 car, or maybe a $50,000 car, that you can handle a payment.
Right.
They won't know that if you don't have any credit.
Makes a lot of sense.
Mm-hmm.
Also, one more thing. As far as the credit card limits, so I've heard different increments in what you're supposed to spend versus what you pay, or whatever that ratio is. Is it, what is it, like 30% of your card you're supposed to be paying back, or how does that work?
They say don't go over 30%.
Right. Okay.
But that's just like the saying, to be on time is late.
Right. Okay.
Okay. But you don't ever want to get to 30%. 30% is just the cutoff. I personally rock with the number 6%. And that's really hard to do. But if you don't spend more than you can afford, you will be okay.
Right.
The whole plan is that you don't want to go to the 30. That's just where you stop. I teach my clients 20% because I know more than likely they're going to push it to the limit anyway.
Right.
Yeah.
So,
and at least that'll still probably most likely keep them under the 30,
and that's again, that's how much debt you have. So it's not as important as your payment history and the age, but it is something weighted. And what your credit score is going to be in your credit profile. I don't like to focus on credit score because there's so many different types.
Right.
So I really am more of a what's going on the report.
Why it's whatever number it is.
Whatever number it is.
Right.
Because there's people I know who have 700 credit scores but can't get no money.
That sounds
Yeah.
crazy. I would never think.
And when you say get no money, getting a personal loan
Credit
or a business
cards.
loan,
It
or,
may
okay,
it
a credit card.
varies
Depends
from
on
to
their
what type of trade
financial
line
profile.
they want to get or what kind of loan or
You was
whatever.
getting ready to say
So
something,
why
Miss?
is that? I thought if you have at least 700 credit, like that's okay to get something. You might have to pay a little interest, but
Okay, there's not one credit score. That's why.
Right.
There's
Meaning,
multiple.
when you say not one quarter score, you mean like Experian,
That's the credit bureaus.
Equifax.
Okay.
Okay.
So that's the credit bureaus, but there's not one type of credit score. You have a Vantage, you have a FICO, you have a
Right.
Oh,
FICO
okay.
8, you got a
Okay,
FICO
okay.
10, you got a mortgage
Gotcha.
score, which is
All
a
right.
FICO 2.
See, now you
so
just went on
there-
a whole nother
Yeah.
ballgame.
Teach me, girl.
I was
Drop
looking into
that.
different seminars.
Right, I was like, the Experian
So,
and Equifax.
yeah,
She's
right.
like, oh, that's yours.
Right.
So yeah,
FICO, and I'm like, oh
credit,
yeah, I know
it's
FICO.
not
Right.
it's not as complicated as you think. However, that's part of the reason why consumer education, and I try to tell people that's ongoing process. It's not a
Right.
one-stop shop. You're gonna learn everything, and I do provide workshops. I do also do
Let's say the website.
coaching
Let's say the website.
ALGblueprint.com, or you can contact me at info@algblueprint.com or on Instagram at algblueprint.com.
Right. Keep it repetition.
So,
Yes, yes.
Yes.
So question. This is something, because I'm into filming and stuff. I do different classes, and they introduce to film directors, like if you're into, like, you need to find funding. So they directed them sam.gov, and sam.gov is basically government contracts, and you have to have your LLC, your EIN number, and your Dun and Bradstreet number. Your Dun and Bradstreet number is your business credit. That's where I'm trying to get, like, how do you start your business credit? You just sign up. Is it easy to sign up to Dun and Bradstreet, where you just sign up new email?
It's
or-
very, very okay. So it is strategic how you build your. It is a strategic process, because obviously, you want to. It's about the profile. Just like with regular personal consumer credit, it's all about the profile, and the same thing applies to business credit. They want to know how much money you're making. Why is it that you're asking us for this money? Have you had credit before? So it's the same questions taking place, and the system works the same way as it would work for personal person, but it's steps that you have to take in order to do that.
Okay, so in a simple way of, like, when you're first starting college, after being experienced in life, yes, you do get a credit card, because you do have to start your credit, but do something that you're going to have to do constantly, and you're going to do it. Pay your phone bill, pay your certain bills. However, you take that money, put it on a credit card, use a credit card to pay the bill, so then that starts a transaction of paying off something, right?
Yes, you're right, but the reality is that you cannot get credit because you don't have credit. They could deny you because you don't have it.
No, I'm saying in a more sense where when you go to college, because they're giving it to you, this is at a point where, kind of like when the pandemic, a lot of us didn't know, like, it's money out there. Like, everybody thinks they just started giving this money out. No, they've been doing this.
Right.
You just got to know how to go get it and what to have or whatever. You can go to SBA.org all the time and get a type of loan. But when just saying an example with a college student, they give them the credit cards. They give them a chance to start their credit. Like, you don't have to ask. They just, like, here, you want to start it? Start you off with a 300 limit or whatever. So where do you go? Like, if you're in business, how do you start? You put, how some credit cards are where you can put money on it. To start building your secure credit card.
Okay,
Right.
that
Would
is
you do a
an
business?
option, but those are all things that come along with the steps of you building out your business.
Yes.
So you might not be the business that gets business credit right away. And a lot of people are, like, right now believing that you can get business credit outside of your personal credit. Yeah, you can, but it's not credit with a big bank. It's not gonna be Chase. It's not gonna be hard money where you can go in a store and just swipe a card. It's gonna be more like retail store credit. So we can get you a bunch of store credit as a business, but you gotta. I always tell people that your personal credit has to be in shape in order for you to get business
I'm
credit.
sorry. So when you get as far as personal
that's
store
a good
credit,
thing
you
to
mean
know
like
because I am building my personal credit.
Yes.
like an account
Doing
with
certain
Quill for
You could do
copy
that.
print paper
Absolutely.
or something like that? Oh, wow.
Absolutely, you can
Wow.
do that. But from what I have seen, what I've learned, and what I've experienced, I'm a trial and error type of girl. I'm not going to teach my clients anything I haven't tried
That's
myself.
right.
So I try some things. And
Well,
it
that's
costs
good.
me sometimes. But from what I've learned, it is not going to be just the quills and those things. No, they want to know that you can manage your own money before they're going to give you other money. And you're not going to always have to do that. You're going to have the personal guarantee with your personal credit
right.
to start.
Okay. So
Yeah,
that's good to know. So
Dropping
Hence why they
jewels.
give you at 18's credit cards and all starting with
yeah,
your
'cause
personal
you're
credit to
gonna-
help you if you decide
Yeah,
to
if
go
you
the
decide to
business
go
route.
the good route. If you
Heard
decide,
you. Okay.
I mean, and that's why for me it definitely starts with the parents, because there's things you can do as a parent in order to get your kids' credit started off on the
Right,
right
this is
foot.
why it's important for parents to educate
So, yeah.
themselves, right?
right,
Yeah.
right.
Very much.
Sounds good, ladies.
Okay, so let's say her website again, which is very
ALG Blueprint.
yes.
Basically, we got the dots, we connect them for you also. So it's the blueprint.
Yes.
ALG.
Yes.
And you can contact us at info@algblueprint.com or algblueprint.com or on Instagram at ALG
You
Blueprint.
cannot forget that name.
And
It's
No.
the same
ALG
name
Blueprint.
anywhere you look for them.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay.
Good stuff. That's a good one.
I'm like
Okay.
working with a lot of people right now as far as like
Yeah, I
doing
saw your
more
website.
online stuff, more
Because then
workshop
they know to do it
stuff.
and they don't need to call her.
I mean, they still
No,
gonna
no,
have
no.
to.
This,
Oh.
Cause
yeah,
the
what she's
reality
saying
is,
it's still
it's
above.
Still,
I
it's
see.
still
That's
a
okay.
lot, but
But
know,
no,
you
just what
gotta
she
know.
said of telling the truth. Of you think you fighting it, doing
Okay.
that, you're not.
You're
That's
not.
something simple.
Okay.
Like,
So that wakes their ears up
That's
to be like,
very
oh, let
true,
me call her. She
Yeah,
knows what she's talking
it's.
about.
I mean, but it is pretty. It's like
Well, why we-
it's not
It's just an
information.
information to
It's
know what
not
you got. Sometimes
information that,
They
you
put your
know,
shit in order, like you know.
You just like really, it's a lot of information. It's a lot of information, and I probably wouldn't have understood it the first time I heard it, but I've been hearing it for a while, and it's been something that's been a part of my life as long as I could think of, and that's why I say to people that it's like forever. You just
Right.
need to think of it
Yes,
that way,
yes.
and don't think of it as something that's one and done. It's never one and done. Nothing you do with your credit is one and done.
And I mean, just being a part of America, like
Yeah.
you're just like you can do anything, but then when you start doing business and a whole bunch,
that
there's
is
a
a
lot
trail
of,
that
other
follows,
stuff
right?
that comes
That is a
with it.
fact.
so it's not that easy.
Yeah.
And how was it? You were saying something about Credit Karma.
So Credit Karma is good for the information, but it's not accurate as far as the score because again, there's many different scores.
Right.
You have a FICO score, which is the one we go by the most, and then you have a Vantage score, and Vantage score it was created by the credit bureau, so
Oh.
it's a little bit different.
Yeah, because they seem on Credit Karma at least they seem to have two dramatically different
Yeah.
numbers between was it Equifax and
TransUnion.
But
Exactly.
they use FICO scores, and that's why. And then you can go a little step further with the score and what year are they using, what version, like what model are they
Okay.
using.
So you said my what's the
my
best?
FICO is going to be the most accurate because it's going to be the most.
Did you say something?
She ain't working right.
Wait a minute.
There you go.
My FICO, that's the one I was saying.
okay.
It's going to be the most accurate.
Okay.
Well, she missing half her
So-
she ain't herself today.
Yeah, I know. We're
Oh,
gonna work
baby.
it out. We're gonna get this together, Miss Pink Siri. You my girl.
My throat hurts.
I understand.
Don't say that. Can't be talking like that during the pandemic.
I mean, you do got a lot of beverages here.
Listen, what you need to watch that up.
That's that Tito's.
Tell us about it.
Oh, right.
We're not talking about that yet.
Hello, we're mad excited. Yeah, get it?
I know y'all want to talk about that, but that's right before Sukihana. So leave her. Right.
Oh, okay.
Toast.
Leave them alone
Like everybody
right
is
now.
open
Okay.
It's gonna be everywhere.
Pussy. see everywhere. That's what was said.
Wow.
Sorry.
That's what you go afraid.
You're welcome.